everybody, we are back with some coffee talk. Alright, it's the 28th. Let's start the day. Let's get these notifications out the way first. Okay, so stories. Let's read them. Rachel, a girl always has her secrets. Lucas, top of the morning to y'all, hungover but feeling awesome. Myrtle just spent almost 2 hours checking in the mobile games in the App Store. The amount of copycat games is just staggering. I agree. Riona, no delivery today. We'll resume tomorrow. Gotcha. Good evening. Oh, officer, welcome. Hey, Nori. How are you doing? Officer? Oh, sorry. My mind is kind of elsewhere right now. No worries, work issues? What else? I'm all ears if you want to chat. You're a pal. I'm in a real bind, Nori. What happened? Well, never-ending workplace issues. Things are getting weirder by the minute, and I'm feeling out of my depth. Are you talking about your recent patrols? Yeah. I've been analyzing the CCTV footage the last couple of days. Oh, I see. How did that go? Did the camera manage to capture anything? Yes and no. The infrareds caught a couple of blurry things. They ran off, turned a corner, and disappeared. Could have been anything like rats or cats, but neither fits what I heard on the scene. The footsteps, the laughter. Come to think of it, it sounded more like giggles. Giggles. Can werebeasts giggle? Not at that size, no. Even if they could, it doesn't explain the footsteps, really. I see. Lucas, do you know why the satyrs, I don't know, from France are more musical than the ones from America? Because they have French horns. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, Lucas. I see. So what's next? I have some ideas, but they're just wild theories at this point. Short, I'm stumped. Nori. I've been racking my brain ever since Miss Riona dropped that bomb about the fairies, you see. Oh, what about them? As it turns out, fairies was an umbrella term for many types of beings. Anything that didn't fit the known physical rule at the time was referred to as such. Oh, does that mean banshees were a part of the fairy folk? Probably. Not anymore, though. It's an ongoing process, but the list is getting shorter. But back then, any sentient being that was even remotely incomprehensible was considered that. And that just includes apparitions. Apparitions? Yes. Apparitions, like ghost. Ghost? Ghost. I see. What do you mean I see? Eh? Doesn't that sound like a bad joke to you? I'm not sure I follow. But come on, ghosts don't exist. Do they? Because if they do, all I can think about is that damn tree now. Ah, right, the tree. Does that mean it's haunted? It could be. Ugh. Don't get how you can be so calm about this, huh? Well, why wouldn't I be? I mean, there have been all sorts of customers here. Some of them are so out of this world, even. Sometimes literally. You're right. I guess you're not the one who's being weird here. Don't say that. Everyone has their own... I don't know what that word is. True that. If you don't mind telling me, though, may I ask the reason you're so afraid of ghosts? Gosh, no. That's a long story. That's something I'm ready to talk about anyway. Yeah, that's understandable. All you need to know is my fear was never caused by actual ghosts. Oh? Suggestion is a very powerful thing, Nori. But that's all I'm willing to share for now. Okay, thanks for sharing. It's funny. My grandpa was very into this stuff, so is my daughter. They're like my opposites, very curious and fascinated by the unknown. Not that I'm not, mind you. It's just with my time as a cop and all unknown variables usually mean trouble. I see, that makes sense. They're the kind of people who could see things from nothing, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like, you know, the Zen rock garden thing from Japan? They understand the zenness of it. I don't, but that doesn't stop me from thinking it's chill, you know? I think you almost got it. Yeah? But I'm sure he and my daughter could talk about it for hours. Too bad he passed away before she was born. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. On that note, Nori, you see my lighter, right? I'd say I'm pretty well acquainted with it now, yes. My bad. That thing was originally my grandpa's. He bought it sometime after the war ended. It was to commemorate the upcoming new era, he said, in more ways than one. He got honorably discharged due to a severe leg injury he'd never been able to recover from. And at that time, he was living right across the street from the former town hall. For obvious reasons, he didn't walk far, so it was a good location for him with all the veterans support nearby him well. And all, my bad. Right. Now, about that street, you see my grandpa liked to chat. He never liked being alone, that guy. Plus, he pretty much hated his bleak room. So sometimes he'd go and hang out with the street vendors in front of his place. There were all kinds of beings there, along with their pets from all walks of life. That's why he had a lot of stories about the craziest things. Ah, I see. You see, the street's name just came to my mind last night. Can you take a guess what it is? You mean Bourne Street. It wasn't called that before, that's why the whole thing didn't click for me straight away. But I went through these files and it checks out. Does that mean the vendors he was talking about? Bingo! And you know what? He bought that lighter there. Wow, what a coincidence. Are you sure it's only a coincidence? What do you mean? Come on. Ain't no way there's just coincidences, Nori. Everything is lining up too perfectly, if you ask me. Think about what happened so far. It was my team that found out about the vandalism before they dumped the whole case on me. Then my car was hit out of everyone's, right? Then my luck started tanking. The broken mug, the fan, the black cat, just tons of weird stuff happened in the past week alone, you see? Alright. Then one thing led to another and my team was chosen to the investigation and tell me who's in charge of this case? Me. Then there's the Banshee lady, your patron, with some information I wouldn't have thought of. The dead tree stuff, the fairy market, information I wouldn't even have remembered on my own. Right? And now we know why I kept on losing my lighter, right? How are they not connected? Tell me. Well, if you list them all in order like that, I'm telling you, Nori, that place is calling for me. The case is made for me. But they really picked the wrong guy. I'm just real bad at dealing with spooks. They make me question everything I've ever known, you know? But I've always thought you were pretty good at handling... I don't know what that word is. Now when it comes to supernatural stuff, because we don't know enough about what's real and what's not. What will they do? Will they hurt us? Do they bring bad luck, good luck? What's the truth? Who knows? Maybe you should take a day off and catch up on your sleep. Huh? What's that? No, nothing. You know, another patron of mine suggested a documentary to watch. Yeah? The focus was on interesting drinks from around the world. You'd find everything from the mundane to the extreme. From local comforts to really special stuff. And I keep thinking about one particular drink that might interest you. Oh? There's something like a protection drink. It's made of coffee, honey, and lemon, and a slew of other ingredients. Protection from what, though? From evil spirits and bad luck, I think. Maybe it'll help ease your mind a bit. Ah, gotcha. But Nori, even if the whole situation is haunted, there shouldn't be any evil spirits. Right. I would know, but I might need your lighter. What for? Well, the drink needs to be lit up. I just think your lighter might give it an extra magic boost it needs compared to just using a regular flame. I mean, what are you going to make me anyway? I trust you. Here. It exudes an interesting feel. I bet it does. Okay then, make me this magical drink you've learned, Nori. So we said coffee, honey, and we're not going to forget the lemon this time since I have a bad habit. Okay. But then I'm going to give him his lighter back. serve it. That's actually a cool drink. Oh wow, the drink does light up, huh? Yep, this is special just for you. So don't tell anybody. Roger that. Here you go. Oof, be careful. Dang, Nori. Ow. Sorry, guys. This is really something else. You sure it's okay to drink? I have no idea. But I'll take responsibility if anything happens. I'm just being silly, aren't I? Sorry for bothering you with all this stuff, Nori. You even made me this crazy drink to make me feel better. Don't say that. I'm always happy to help however I can. Thanks. Man, at least with crooks, you can actually deal directly with them, you know? Not the case with apparitions. Not with that attitude. Huh? Who is? Everything can be caught with a little elbow grease. Not actual elbow grease, so I won't make that mistake again. McQueen? Is that you? Hello, Williams. It's been a while. It is you. The surprises just keep coming this week. Let me go over there. You know each other? More or less. We were brunch buddies. Brunch buddies? Brunch buddies. I feel like I meant to say brunch buddies in the same serious tone. I don't like to talk about it. I still get nightmares. I feel ya. I wasn't sure we were going to make it out alive. We were truly the lucky ones, without a doubt. I'll just take both your words for it. Good. Because I don't like to talk about it. So what brings you here, detective? Surely it's not the coffee. Secret police reasons. I've not read the briefing yet. But enough about me. Tell me about your supernatural problems. Yeah? You need to bust a ghost? Oh? Well, busting might be a bit much. I was just talking to Nori about getting over my fear of that stuff. And ghost? Something like that. I'm weak against ghostly looking stuff. I get freaked out easily. For example, I admit I got a little scared by what happened on Bourne Street the other day. I remember that. I know very well that unchecked fear leads to prejudice. That's why it's a no-no in my book. It even pains me to admit that out loud. Sometimes the toughest case to crack is ourselves. Other times it's ghosts. How do you do it, detective? Your cases, man. I'd have probably lost all my hair by now if I were you. I try not to think about it all that much. And when I do think about it, I think, who else will do it? Nobody, that's who. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, once you get over that dead part, they're just like you and me. Look, I remember this one case we were investigating a haunted apartment. This lady, her husband had recently passed away, but wasn't moving on. If you get my drift. Real deadbeat, couldn't take a hint. Anyway, we had to go into the exorcist. We had to go and exercise the place, right? But the husband, he caught wind and he retreated into the basement. I won't get into the technicalities of it, but it's harder to get a ghost out of a basement or an attic. It's all about angles, really. I mean, I get it. That used to be his home and all his stuff is there. It's hard, I get that. But so I'm slowly going down the stairs to try and coax him out. Bam. Next minute, all this romantic music is playing and the whole place is lit up by a spotlight. Basic sensory illusions, classic ghost tricks. Then, before I know what hit me, I'm sitting at the pottery wheel and he's behind me and... Wait, isn't this the plot of the 1990 film Ghost? Oh. Maybe. We had a movie night at work and I dozed off before it started. The story must have slipped into my subconscious. Riveting. Hey, detective. Hey, people I don't know. Did you get your important errand sorted? I sure did. Dooley, I can see crumbs stuck to your face. That's just the rain. It's very bready rain. There's filling all over the top. That's blood from a gunshot wound. It's healed up though. You're literally holding the receipt for the donut shop. That's why they pay you the big bucks, detective. So what I miss? We're talking about getting rid of Officer Williams' fear of ghosts. Hey. Ghosts? Yeah, you're afraid of them, right? Dooley? No idea, never met one. We stopped the ghost riot. Ghosts aren't real. So you don't need to be scared of them, it's easy. There you go, I guess. Sorry that wasn't much help. Yeah. What you said, that they're just like us, that's a good thing to remember. To be reminded of, my bad. Exactly. They used to be alive just like us. As long as they don't try to eat, possess, violently murder you, you should be fine. Very reassuring. Just talk to them. Feel their culture, listen to their issues, and spectral wails. Treat them like any other person. See what's on in the inside. Which should be easy since you can see right through them. I thought you didn't believe in ghosts. It's best to not overthink anything he says. I certainly don't. Ha, well, thanks for the advice. I think it'll help. Our pleasure. Now, Julie, I think we should read the case briefing and find out why we're here. I already did. Oh? Turns out we're meant to arrest the person driving that taxi. Instead of taking it all the way to Seattle, yes. Why? The driver was a chupacabra. Oh. Okay, let's get out of here, Julie. Good luck, officer. Thanks, McQueen. A lot. You too, Officer Julie. Bye, guy. Good luck with your rat problem or whatever. Bye, Coffee Wizard. Take care. Coffee Wizard. That was quite something. Well, what do you know, Nori? Looks like my good luck is back. I'm feeling like $1,000,000 now. Very glad you do. Thanks anyway, Nori. I really did nothing much. You gonna be okay? Okay enough to start thinking about what to do next. I'm done here for the night. You have a good evening, alright? Please keep me updated, officer, and stay safe. Will do. Alrighty then. Maybe I'll go check the stock and... Miss Rihanna, welcome. Hello. How's the traffic out there? It's a mess. There's a construction worker taking places on Lenore Avenue. Oof, I can imagine the gridlock already. Fortunately, I have no deliveries to make today. That's great. I'm happy you're here. So, anything I can make for you this evening? I'd like something for my throat, so I'd appreciate a cup of tea infused with lemon and honey. Oh, so tea, lemon, honey. That's what you want for it, I guess. A cup of warm midsummer's night's dream for you, miss. That's what we call it here. How whimsical. It's wonderful. Sweet, but well balanced with the lemon, and the slight bitterness of the tea completes the taste. Thank you. You're so very welcome. By the way, you just missed Officer Georgie by a few seconds. Is that so? How is he? He's been thinking about what you said quite a bit, actually. Oh? He's currently dealing with plenty of clues he isn't used to. That's why he's had a hard time at work at the moment. I see. Bad traffic aside, how are you? To be honest, I've had a lot on my mind as of late, and I don't know how to express it without sounding pathetic. You know, I'm all ears. That may actually be part of the problem, I'm afraid. Pardon? You know, I've held conversations with more individuals over the past week than I have in the past few years. Is that a good or bad thing? It's troubling. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I don't mean it necessarily in a negative way. It's just, I used to believe that I had a settled life objective, but I have been doubting it lately. How come? I finally heard back from Miss Rachel yesterday. Ooh, any good news? No. Our fields are admittedly quite different, so I was not expecting much. However, she provided me with some contacts who may be of assistance. Even though they had no direct connection to the audience I'm trying to reach, I see. She explained clearly why she thinks I should contact them, however, which I am thankful for. That's very thoughtful of her, so what's the battle plan? And why are you doubting yourself? I guess. In essence, the advice is to slowly increase my network, to make myself known. Oh, sounds familiar, doesn't it? You can probably guess my concern about it. I think so. But you can give me a refresher, just so I don't misunderstand. I feel like that would be a shortcut, so to speak, right? She did, however, remind me of an important and humbling fact. What would that be? Well, oh, but it's not guaranteed you'll get anything out of it, don't you think? Unless you're really, really sure that so-called shortcut is 100% going to work. Because you'll have to do way, way more than just making a few calls and waiting for callbacks, you know? I'd say that's a decent impression of her. Thank you. After that, she told me a story about her earlier career experiences, both the good and the bad. Getting noticed is truly only in the beginning. Then it is either a matter of letting your talent speak for you, or you go out there to develop connections with the right people. Even then, there's still no guarantee of success. After listening to her explanation, I respect Miss Rachel's determination. I can certainly see how it worked out for her. But then I was left with wondering whether Mr. Lucas meant something similar during our first meeting. Right, I thought it all sounded familiar. Will you try her suggestion then? I don't know. Is it difficult? No more difficult than sending reels to every audition I've come across and being rejected by every single one of them, but for some reason I feel conflicted about it. Speaking of Mr. Lucas, he and I have also continued our correspondence, although perhaps it was more like a necessity. Did something happen? He was stuck. Pardon? Actually, he posted about it on social media last night. Oh? I might have seen it. Did you? I came across it when I was updating my schedule and responded out of concern. Then he called me almost immediately. He was loud. All sounds in order. And extremely drunk. Really? He denied it at first, but it was too obvious not to notice. He told me he was walking aimlessly deep in thought and entered Cary Park without realizing he had done so. Must have been some deep thinking he was doing, because I think it rained pretty hard last night. Well, I wouldn't know. The bus to and from there is currently not operating after 10 p.m., which is why I sent him a message informing him of the fact, and he seemed to be unaware of it, right? So he called me to ask if there was any other mode of public transit nearby. Wouldn't it have been easier for him to just call a cab? He told me he wanted to know the city better. At midnight? Why not? After all, you operate your business after dark yourself. Touche. Perhaps he just didn't want to go home yet. And I might be mistaken here, but I thought he doesn't like drinking. Wasn't it partying? Nevertheless, I think last night was quite different. It appears he had dinner with his team, and he needed the extra courage in order to negotiate with them about his proposed new direction. Oh. I see. I suppose it didn't go as expected. Perhaps. And I know that feeling all too well. However, he said he will keep negotiating until they reach a compromise. Well, that's good. Is it though? Miss Rachel told me about the hoops she had to jump through at the beginning of her career with her teammates as well. Likewise, Mr. Lucas has to work hard to obtain approval from his team for his actions. How can they still be so positive? What do you mean? I just cannot picture myself convincing others to give me a chance like that. I almost wanted to ask, why do we have to be at the mercy of others in order to succeed or fail? Can't talent speak for itself? But if I truly believe that, with the number of rejections I've received so far, I should have stopped a long time ago, shouldn't I? Right, and that's why it doesn't work that way. What do you mean? To let talent speak for itself, we all have to have the same standards. I see what you mean. Art would cease to be art if it were standardized, wouldn't it? However, doesn't that imply that everything still depends on the whims of the individual judging you at this moment? How does someone like Miss Rachel or Mr. Lucas manage to be fine with that? Perhaps because they don't see it as the be-all and end-all? What do you mean? Rather than viewing them as judges with the authority to determine their fates, perhaps they simply see them as hills to either overcome or avoid if they make sense. Just a matter of perspective as to where the power lies. But it's not easy to climb these hills, especially if you've never done it before. Therefore, it's good to try and find out what works for you or ask for guidance or assistance. Because one can't possibly know every way to overcome obstacles or be able to safely recognize warning signs without first learning about them from others. Is that what you're trying to say? I see. Still. Awkward. Miss Rihanna. Yes? Sorry, I got a little bit lost in my thoughts. You're fine, I promise. But speaking of Mr. Lucas, what happened to him after the call? I picked him up and drove him home. Whoa. But I thought you're located in I can't say that. I am. But I still had unfinished business in the downtown area. Moreover, he suddenly began singing quite loudly nearing the end of our call, which led me to conclude that it would be best for me to go and fetch him. I see. How was the singing, in your opinion? It wasn't too bad. If not for the fact that he was screaming most of the lyrics, that is. Well, his hoodie was soaked when I arrived, so he had to take it off before getting into my car. Thankfully, the water did not completely soak through his shirt, so he remained relatively dry. However, I still had to lay down the seat covers as his fur got rather wet. Hope he didn't get sick then. I should go now. Alright, will you be okay? I have a lot to think about. Thank you for being patient with my concerns, Nori. Did she just stop, like... I hope we didn't get sick then. Yeah, okay, so she's just awkward. Okay, she's... Okay, no problem at all. Anytime. Have a good evening then, Nori. Come back again soon. Awkward. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.